So today we're going to be covering what is covered by your flood policy. Now there's a difference. We've got to take in consideration, is your policy private or backed by the NFIP/FEMA? There is a big difference, so let's get into this. So who am I? My name is Mike Keeler. I'm a licensed public adjuster in Florida. For those of you that don't know, public adjusters represent you, the people, the homeowner, the property owner, against your insurance company to make sure that your claim is maximized, you get everything paid for, everything gets accounted for. And this way, there's very little chance that the insurance company can take advantage of you or lowball you. Here's how you can get a hold of me: cell phone, email, and my website. So when you're weighing out what type of coverages you have flood, they're not always the same because there's a difference between private or federal. All right. Private allows you to follow where the state laws take into effect. Now federal here you can't see behind my video image, but federal is a totally different animal, right? Totally different animal. In Florida, if you had a private insurance, things like matching cabinets, floors, etc. would be covered. That's not the case in federal. So this is just a brief overview, but it's going to give you enough insight for you to understand what people who just went through Hurricane Ian are dealing with. Okay? So in federal, this is a national flood insurance program. It's administered by FEMA. It is not easy to deal with. We're going to talk about that. Okay? This is all about some of the legal ramifications. So there's 19 different carriers. There's popular carriers are Wright, Allstate, Progressive, several others. So in Louisiana, these are the legal ramifications. In Louisiana 2 years ago, federal judges were dismissing these cases on small technicalities. See, it doesn't go to a jury. So the last couple of weeks, I've been in this think tank conference with some attorneys, and we've been trying to measure out and weigh out the pros, the cons, the risks of dealing with these flood cases. And believe it or not, well, I think it's on the next slide, so I don't want to get ahead of myself, but here it is. Federal judges rule on your case. And so again, there's a lot of landmines and obstacles with these federal cases. Share. So here are the legal ramifications, part 2. I'm glad I didn't get ahead of myself with regards to attorneys. So when we're dealing with FEMA on the federal, the NFIP, and you'll see it on your policy, there's been a few that I've had to get clarification from because it looked like it was private insurance because there was no mention of the NFIP FEMA program. So if you have the NFIP FEMA program, it's very difficult to find an attorney that's going to take flood cases. Very difficult. So the risk for attorneys to take on flood cases due to federal laws are preventing attorneys from helping people. That's one. Number 2, there's no fee statute like there is in Florida. Let me explain. So if they take on, an attorney takes on, if you can find an attorney to take on your case, they're going to be taking, I've been seeing this, 40%, because the risks are high that there's going to be issues. So they don't want to do it. Right now, I don't, there's one attorney that I know doing it, and they're a big firm. But you're going to get 40% taken from your settlement. $10,000, you're going to get a recovery, you're going to get $4,000 taken. It's not ideal. If Florida, if you're suing your insurance company, and the insurance company pays for those fees, all right? With federal and FEMA, that's not the case. Here, it's like walking through a minefield. So the proof of loss normally is mandatory in 60 days with FEMA claims. It blows my mind. Now, here's a good thing. Hurricane Irma or Ian. They've extended it 1 year. So that 60-day now is extended to 1 year. So let's take a look on the federal level, meaning FEMA. All right. If you have the NFIP policy, this is what you're dealing with. Now this is National Flood Insurance Program. That's what NFIP stands for. Pools, nothing related to pools are going to be covered. Nothing related to your floors are going to be covered. If you had water come in, damage your cabinets, they'll pay for the lower cabinets, they won't pay for the upper cabinets. All right? So that's what we're dealing with here. It's a whole different animal than private flood insurance. If you like seeing these videos and you like this video so far, please give me a thumbs up, a like, and also if you would, subscribe to the channel. Okay, so let's go through some of the things that are covered underneath your federal FEMA policy. All right, now there's two different coverages, building and contents. Let's first cover building. Awnings and canopies, blinds, built-in dishwashers, microwaves built in, permanently installed over unfinished flooring. Okay, actually carpet, I'm sorry. Central air, elevator equipment, fire sprinkler systems, walk-in freezers, furnaces and radiators, garbage disposal units. Now you may say, wow, that looks pretty good. This isn't great. Awnings and canopies, I mean, all this stuff, as you can see, for the most part, other than essential air and elevator, that's a little odd, but I guess that's more for commercial. But other than that, a lot of this doesn't affect homeowners. Garbage disposal, I mean, you're talking $100 there, awning and canopies, a few hundred, blinds, dishwashers. So it goes on, okay? Hot water heaters, light fixtures, outdoor antennas, permanently installed cupboards, bookcases, cabinets. All right, but again, lower part. So if you have upper cabinets, no. Plumbing fixtures, pumps and machinery for operating pumps. So I would imagine this would include, because I know a lot of people, Cape Coral, Fort Myers, have the wells. So I think we would be able to get this covered. So ranges, cooking stoves and ovens, refrigerators, and wall mirrors permanently installed. All right, so these are ranges, cooking stoves. I mean, listen, that helps, right? But yeah, I'm not impressed with the list. So let's take a look at coverage B, contents, air conditioning units, portable ones, window type, carpets, throw rugs, basically. Talk about carpets in the other one, overfinished flooring. So carpets, rugs, pretty much all covered. Washers and dryers, cookout grills, food freezers, portable microwaves, portable dishwashers. Okay, so let's wrap this up. The flood policy is a minefield for both public adjusters and attorneys. The flood policies do provide some benefit, guys, but it's definitely not a complete solution, as you can see. And based on some of the ridiculous premiums that people may pay, people do end up getting frustrated with flood policies. And again, I'm going to refer to the poor people in Louisiana. These people had a lot of their cases thrown out in the federal courts. So sometimes flood premiums are ridiculous and expensive. And as you can see, it is not the end-all be-all. Like every insurance policy, there are extreme limitations. But what makes these federal flood policies so difficult is because of the legal landscape. It's so bad that attorneys do not want to get involved, even at 40% fees. So this is not good for the people that for Hurricane Ian. Hopefully they can get as much as they can from the flood policy, but it doesn't look very promising.